welcome to a getting ready for summertime session of Art at Home. Today we are going to make a watercolor seascape. This is a very free, very loose art project. There's really no right or wrong way to do this, and your picture is going to look very different than mine, and that's part of the joy of this kind of art making. So let's get started, shall we? So the first thing we want to do is prepare our surface. In your bag you have some blue painter's tape, and we are going to use this to tape down your sheet. Okay, make sure that the edges are really in there because you don't want any, see, that one wasn't down enough. You don't want any paint or moisture to seep through. So you're going to get a little pan of watercolors. The first thing you do when you open up any watercolors is just get rid of that, okay? Those brushes are terrible. Don't ever use those brushes. So we're gonna use a little bit of tissue, or you can use a sponge, whatever. You wanna moisten all of your watercolors, and then you gotta let that sort of soak in for a while. While that's soaking in, take your brush. This is called a round brush. They call it round because of the shape of it. Okay, so look at your page and decide where you want the horizon to be. And this is an artistic decision. I can't tell you where that should be. For the top part of the painting, which is going to be the sky, use the brush and just some clear water to create some diagonal lines. A zigzag, maybe even like a Z shape. All right, a little bit of blue. With watercolors, less is more. Just put a little bit. It's all about the layers. Okay, now we're going to go in with a little bit of violet. Maybe this is looking like clouds. Maybe this just gives a little depth to the sky. So my horizon looks like it's just about in the middle there. What you may want to do is use a tissue to suggest clouds. All right, so we're going to let that dry for a while and then move into the ocean part. For this step, we're going to kind of repeat the steps we used for the sky, except instead of using violet, I'm going to use a little bit of green. So plain water first, and again, touch it with blue. So much of the joy of watercolor is just watching it. Okay, there's my water. Ooh, I like this. I'm leaving some white spots blank, and these white spots, they kind of look like the waves breaking. Okay, remember I said blue, and then we're going to add green to some of the wet areas. Just touch that green. Notice that I'm kind of staying away from the horizon itself. I'm not doing a whole lot there. I'm going to let that dry for just a little bit and then go in and emphasize that, not with a straight line. I mean, that would just kill the painting if you just went blob and did a line. But do a little bit of reinforcing with a broken line. I think we're ready to do the beach. Now, here we've been using all cool colors, but for the beach, we're going to use warm colors. So in order to do this, you have to wash out your brush, rinse it out completely, and get some fresh water, because you don't want the green and the violet and the blue to mix in with your beach colors. So I'm going to move this aside and use some fresh water. Moisten the beach part of your painting. All right, I'm leaving a little tiny bit of space to suggest the little bit of foam when the wave climbs up on the beach, and that moment just before it turns around and recedes back into the ocean, it leaves that beautiful little delicate lace work of foam. That's what we're going to do here. Okay, so that's wet. First a little bit of brown. Okay, a little bit of yellow, maybe even a tiny touch of orange. Okay, we're going to let this dry for just a couple of minutes so that it's not completely dry, but most of the shininess goes away. When your painting is kind of dry, you see it's kind of a satiny here. You don't want it to be bone dry. Using just the tip, see the very tip of your brush. And then you may want to reinforce the horizon there a little bit. I'm going to reinforce this line a little bit here with a tiny bit of brown. All right, I think this is done. Let's let it dry, and then we will peel away this tape. And this final step, well, I probably shouldn't say it, but you can really ruin your painting at this step. So good luck. You start by removing the last piece of tape you put on, away from your painting. Go slow. When I do this with kids, sometimes they get so excited that they go fast and then they rip the painting. Oops, see, that's starting to peel up there, so I'm going to slow way down, dodge that bullet. And there it is. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that. I just love it. And there's a finished, beautiful summertime seascape filled with rich, translucent color. And I don't know about you, but this makes me just really want to go to the beach. I just love my little watercolor seascape here. You'll notice that our finished product isn't super detailed. It's actually kind of an abstracted painting of the seashore. And if you've experimented with this and decided that you kind of like abstracted seascapes, then you should probably check out the work of the great 19th century artist William Turner. If you visit the Tate Gallery of London, you don't have to go all the way to England. You can visit them online, and we'll put the address on the screen there. They have a wonderful online exhibit of late Turner works where he focuses on the sea in all of its many moods. So be sure to check that out. Please share your work with us online, post it on social media with hashtag FCCArtAtHome. I look forward to seeing your seascapes. Stay creative, and we'll see you next time, okay?